is manned by Al-Shabaab, who have taken a chunk of space in their own country. We have Mogadishu calling itself Somalia. We have Kismayo calling itself Somalia. The presence of foreign troops in Somalia indicates to you that all is not well with that country. We have been fighting to keep this country away from coming to occupy and take over Somalia and create an Islamic State east of us. Today, as we speak, more terrorists have left Afghanistan. America has let down the dogs of war, the dogs of murder, the dogs of killings. America has left them. America has set them on our continent. They are coming in big numbers. The countries in the Great Lakes region today should think of what they should do for this region to stop the sufferings of the people as a result of the conflicts that are emerging as we speak now. Many terrorists have now come across the Indian Ocean. A few days ago in Tanzania, you saw someone waking up and shooting people. We have to be vigilant. As we speak today, many countries across the world are celebrating people who disappear without a trace. But we have forgotten one virtue. How do these people disappear? I see in Kenya, people, NGOs are condemning the government as if they know who in the government makes these people disappear. A person has a grudge. People borrow money. People lend out money. People take people's property. These are the issues that we should investigate before we label everything on the government of the Republic of Kenya for making people disappear. It is us, the human beings, Professor Onyari, who should be concerned. How do people disappear? Because it is us who engineer their disappearance. It is us who report, who organize gangs to go and kill each other. It is the population of the country that is bad, the mindset of the people poison. The people who hate a government, but they don't hate themselves for the wrongdoings that they do. Across the world, some people decide to disappear because they are fed up with their wives. Some disappear because the money they have been loaned to or they have borrowed cannot be paid. Some disappear because of venture. Some people disappear for years and then return and they say that I've been kidnapped. Some do the kidnap in order for their families to pay money and they share with crime. Are we safe in this country? Added with the conflict that we see the Horn of Africa. In Tigray, they are heading, the fighting has caused millions of people displaced and hundreds of thousands killed. In South Sudan, you see a threat coming back where the peace process between the government and Riek Machar seem to be fragile. Is it our war? Is this not a threat for Kenya to sit and watch? Kenya is a member of the PSC. We see the threat cutting across. We see the threat of divided AU. Miriam, a divided AU also poses a threat in the region. When you see the Arab states plus the southern states of SADC and other countries teaming up to say we don't want Israel ever to appear near the African Union is a threat. Is a threat to peace of the AU. What are we doing about these things? My role as a Don, as a man who has studied this political science and international relations to the level that I have to speak up, I will speak up. I have nobody to control me except God. There are people who should wake up on their jobs. Next year, which is next month, there will be a ruling in the ICJ. And the medium, we need to talk candidly about this. We should not put our heads in the blanket and tell people lies that we are doing very well. God is, no, we are not doing very well. There is a real threat to peace in the region if the United Nations Security Council does not step in and stop the case at ICJ. I have been talking and Kenya has not taken a step. And no Somalia has taken a step to have this case suspended. And we are here calling ourselves, we are all right. When you talk to people, they tell you we are okay. What do you okay? What do you know? This thing is coming. If the ruling in the ICJ comes and dismembers, for example, if the ruling in the ICJ comes and dismembers the entire region in the Indian Ocean, if the ruling goes against Somalia, Kenya will have to fight it out with Somalia. If the ruling goes against Kenya, Kenya will have to take up and fight against anybody who will be occupying the territory. It is therefore incumbent for the people. It is therefore important for us to focus, instead of focusing on elections, instead of hearing Ruto telling us about election, what is he going to lead? Does Ruto know international relations? Does Ruto even know? Ruto was lucky to visit the first time to visit out from Kenya to The Hague. He doesn't know it. Otherwise, he only knew his home at Songoi in North Eldoret. So he is very blind on international relations because he studied the plans. He cannot, there are no plans in Indian Ocean. So we must come up not to be blinded over elections. Medium, I changed this topic to a region because I've seen your politics is very petty. Your politics has become very petty. You have allowed a man to poison the minds of younger people that he will deliver them something, a Messiah, a new Messiah who has arrived from Eldoret in a place called Sungoi, will arrive and he has poisoned everybody in this country. And all of you, even those educated, seem to have fallen and they are polishing his shoes. So I am very, I am shocked. Onyali, don't look upstairs. Even the professor like Chisangani is polishing his shoes. A man who teaches political science does not know that there is something called principle. The law of principle in political science says morality, moral principle. If my wife and I are going to be quarreling every day, one of us has to move out of the house and leave the children grow. Isn't it? You can't punish the children. Ruto has been quarreling with Uhuru. Why can't he move out and set his UDA team and go on and organize and come back and win and lead this country? That is a topic for the day, another day. Coming back, I brought it because Ruto doesn't know international dimensions. I don't think he even knows London fully. If you put him in the Victoria station, he will need a guide dog, a dog guide, to run around international station of London. So at times I degrade such people. They can become president, but I'm not interested. In fact, it is better not to be ruled by somebody like that, and I sit in the country of that nature. I will go away when he becomes one of the presidents and he wins a seat. So those who are insulting me, don't worry. I will pass by and visit to see Miriam and other people. That's okay. If he doesn't want me to pass, I will also make him not to pass some places. He can punish me now, but he might be punished more. So don't worry about that, Mr. We have a fallback plans. So let's look at this. The Horn of Africa, Central Africa, East Africa, there is a threat to peace. Medium. I've given you one instance of threat, 2 or 3. Tigray. Ethiopia is falling. Yesterday, Prime Minister Abe was requesting the. Well, do you know what? You know, one good thing is that I have a very good network of intelligence crossing across East Africa. Guess what the Ethiopian Prime Minister was asking for? Do you know? He wants Rwanda to send in troops to help his government to fight off the rebels and to help him not to fall. That's it, you see? And the Rwandese troops are similar. They look like Ethiopians. So there is no problem. They are people of one nature. He is busy running around the continent, trying to get troops to go in to save the situation in Ethiopia. That is not very good. When you go to South Sudan, the situation is so fragile that the people in Juba live on borrowed time. They don't know whether eruption of fighting could erupt again. The peace process was done very badly. When you go on the war between between Uganda and Rwanda, Miriam, there is a silent war, a war of words, a war of accusations, allegations. Uganda alleges that Rwanda spies on them. Rwanda alleges that Uganda spies on them. They have closed the border. That is a threat to security. The business that you do from the way from Rwanda, from Mombasa up to Rwanda, don't go to Kigali. Kigali has devised another method on how to bring its goods through Tanzania in order to survive. Is this the countries of Africa that we wanted? If you look at the relationship between Burundi and Rwanda, medium, they are again frosty. If you look at the relationship between Mozambique and other neighbors, there is a war in Mozambique. Mozambique is part of the Great Lakes East African region of the Great Lakes. That war is a threat in the Indian Ocean. Given that the Taliban are free to fall to sell cocaine, the way the Americans have bought enough cocaine and disappeared, with ships loaded with cocaine and bangi, which they can utilize for years, they gained and got out of Afghanistan. Today, as we see them dropping men and women of the men that they trained in Afghanistan, calling them refugees, coming to settle in our country, we must think of what will happen tomorrow. Is there peace at all in the region? What can the United Nations Security Council do? I asked before the ruling, I asked before the ruling of ICJ comes, that the two countries can make a move. The two countries can now make a move. We withdraw the case of ICJ. I ask that under Chapter 7 of the United Nations Security Council, there is a hope, Article 39, that once there is a threat to peace, the maritime border dispute between Kenya and Somalia has become a threat, and will become a threat to peace in the region. I submit, Miriam, that those are the examples that I've given you. I've opened up now for you people. Remember, and I want to be the first one to tell you, Americans have been meeting Al-Shabaab in Doha. Don't tell me that I did not tell you. So this Al-Shabaab that we talk about might be partners.
Yeah, and as we speak, Doc, I don't know if you're aware, the U.S. has sent some military help to the Democratic Republic of Congo there to try to help them curb the militancy activity that has been ongoing there. So they recently...
I had forgotten also.
They went there.
President Tshisekedi asked for military help.
Yes, and the U.S. gave him.
And he was given military help.
Yes, by the U.S.
I want also to state here that I hope, Miriam, you have now picked my paper, which I said, now Jeff is there, should pick the paper from Capital FM, where I warned you that their plane is hovering in this region, trying to drop the equipment they used in Afghanistan. Hasn't it come true now, Mama? Isn't it true, Mama, that now they have dropped the things that they used in Afghanistan? They can't take them back. They are looking for a war, a new war in the region where they can continue to put their feet down to take our oil, which is in the Albertine region. Why are they giving Tshisekedi the arms, the control of oil on the Albertine region across Congo? Remember, Uganda is digging oil east side, but the oil is also on the other side of Democratic Republic of Congo. That oil is not politicized, has not been publicized a lot. It is a gray area that American companies wanted to grab and stick on them. If you think Matanga is wrong, then I did not study political science and international relations, which I know. That is why they have sent troops. I am so shocked that the Kenyan army, the KDF, Tshisekedi asked for help. But the implications, and I usually, one of the things that I do, Miriam, I put in black and white. That people disagree with me. But when you go back and open up your booklet, you find Matanga said something. I warn the people that the major plan for America in the region is that oil and the diamonds and the gold in that area. Now there is a new rebel group that has started around West Nile in Uganda and the Congo. Something which is going on there. Who is creating this type of groups? Who is funding them? Who is doing the proxy war in South Sudan? Miriam, I submit that others can continue now.
Very well, indeed. Thank you so much. Professor Jared Onyari. Douglas Kirimi.
I'm here, Miriam.
Oh, all right. Go ahead, Prof.
Yeah, Miriam, the topic we are discussing, is there a threat to peace in the region of East Africa, Central Africa, and the Horn of Africa? That's the question we are asking. Is there peace in the first instance? As Dr. Masanga said, and I want to be very, very clear on this, that we need to be very careful. If there's any time that we need to be careful, that the region is already destabilized in a way that, and I use it to, I liken it to a house which is burning. People are putting off the fire. You are coming with the petrol and you are trying to put off the fire. You can imagine what is going to happen. He has said you can see what's happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo. From 1998, when Joseph Kabila was assassinated and the son took over, those people have never enjoyed peace. Come as Southern Sudan, the country which we midwifed its independence in 1911. 1914, what did you see? A conflict. And more than 500 people have died in Southern Sudan. What about Ethiopia? You are seeing what's happening in the Tigray region, Miriam. And those people are moving very fast into a way that if an engagement is not engaged, Miriam, those people are going to overthrow that government. What is happening in Kenya, Miriam? You can see we don't speak from the same conversation, Miriam, and we are entering into an election next year, Miriam. What is happening about Uganda and Rwanda? Dr. Masanga has said, Miriam. So what I need to do, Miriam, is to do that East Africa, the IGAD, the African Union, and even the case he has talked about, the marine case, which is coming, the ruling is coming next year, Miriam. And you know very well the boundaries of Kenya are very porous. And even in our constitution, we have stated, Miriam, our boundaries are not very clear. So, Miriam, if we are not going to enter into an engagement, a conversation, a discussion, Miriam, there is nobody who is going to take the continent of Africa forward, Miriam. It's very unfortunate. Dr. Masanga did say that there are some aircraft hovering in the spaces of East Africa, Miriam, and it has come to pass. They came in Somalia, 1991. They left that country, Miriam. You see the kind of mess we are trying to sort. And Miriam, we are having more than 500 refugees in Kakuma and Dadaab. And are we going to accept the next refugees in this country, Miriam? So, Miriam, what I always say, if the African leaders will sit down, and we are keeping on talking that Kenya, we are sitting in the Security Council as non-voting member, Miriam. Well, of what interest that one? Who listen to us? It is high time that the African leaders, the people in the great region leaders, Miriam, they should be able to discuss where they are taking this region, Miriam. Otherwise, talking about the threat, they are only adding petrol into a situation, Miriam, which is very terrible, Miriam. You can see we use Kenya as a case study, Miriam. If we are not going to have a conversation, Miriam, you have the deputy president and the president are not in talking terms, Miriam. You know very well, and you understand the politics of this country, Miriam, is ethnic. So from where I sit, America is this high time, Miriam, they should spare Africa. It's a big brother. With all the policy, Miriam, you see what they have done to Pakistan, Miriam. In one way or the other, Miriam, they went there and they killed Osama bin Laden, whom they had created, Miriam, to do that work in the Middle East and in the Middle East, and they ended up killing him, Miriam. How have they left in that country, Miriam? Who is going to help the countries in the world, Miriam? If a bigger brother now disappears than Miriam, they cannot even take their weapons which they were using in Pakistan, Miriam. And those ones are finding their way to East Africa, Miriam. Remember yesterday we had a very healthy discussion, Miriam, saying that how can the refugees from Pakistan, Miriam, be brought to Kenya, brought to East Africa, Miriam? They are being to be taken to Puntland, Miriam. And the confused president of Uganda, he has accepted that he's going to entertain those people, Miriam. And Dr. Masanga did indicate, Miriam, what is found in Pakistan, Miriam? It's cocaine, it's drugs. This is going to be extended to this region, Miriam. So let me just submit by saying that a serious engagement, and I'm appealing to President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Now that Kenya, we are privileged, Miriam, to sit in the United Nations Security Council. And in any event, That is one of our campaigning pledges we gave, that in the Horn of Africa, there is an instability. Miriam. We want to see our president, Kenya, putting this kind of agenda, Miriam, in the United Nations Security Council, Miriam. And one of the fear I have, Miriam, about the United Nations, wherever they have sent troops, Miriam, peace has never been maintained in that region, Miriam. What we normally see, Miriam, is a smuggling of weapons and arms to those regions, Miriam. So, Miriam, do I talk about African Union, which is dead? Africa, we are in trouble. I submit.
All right, very well. Thank you so much. Douglas Kirimi.
Thank you, Miriam. What we are having today are situations where Africa is going to be forgotten as it is in the next few decades. Miriam, when people like Democratic Republic of Congo, where a president or their nation is breeding internally because of outside forces, we are told that there are places, it is documented in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, where the president is Felix Tshisekedi Chilombo, but President Museveni has places where he tarmacs roads in that country. I have never had that, Miriam, and it is something that borders to insanity when we continue having countries like the Central African Republic, where even the Russians have found a home. Where in Africa do you find foreign interferences like we have? Where in the world do you find foreign interferences? In Africa, in other countries like we have in Africa, it is something that, Miriam, we cannot be able to wrap our minds on, and it is something that we need to be able to take seriously and be able to end off the threats that we continue having on the peace of the people of Africa. Africa today, as we know it, especially the Sahel region, has never known peace. The Horn of Africa is at a breaking point, Miriam. Somalia today, as we know it, is no longer the same Somalia that those people would have anticipated that after that years of Siad Barre, that Somalia would have been pacified, they would have a better country and all that, including a country that hosts the headquarters of African Union is collapsing. That country is collapsing. Its military is recruiting freshmen and women who are told to join the army and get a crash course and defend their fatherland. And that is Ethiopia, Miriam. Peace in Africa is something that is going to be a thing of the past if we are not serious about it and see the way we are going to go. We need to decide on the way that we shall go as the people of African origin, as Africans. We need to stand with our Pan-African brothers and be able to stand firm and firmly, because at the end of the day, when we have people and countries that continue getting these foreign interferences, and we all know when these foreigners come into a country, how they live it. You've seen how they have left Afghanistan. Today, the people of Afghanistan are refugees in foreign capitals and foreign countries, away from their fatherland, away from their motherland. It borders to insanity when we, the people of Africa, continue shutting our mouths, where the African Union, which should be amplifying the voices of lonely countries who continue suffering the threats of war and disruptions and distractions, when the African Union and quarters itself, we do not know what is going to happen tomorrow, maybe in the next 2 weeks, maybe in the next 1 month, when the forces of Tigray and the Oromo Defense Forces descend on Addis Ababa as they continue marching on Addis Ababa. Peace in Africa is something that we cannot be able to guarantee, and something that we cannot be able to wrap our minds around, Miriam. When the Horn of Africa is disrupted, Miriam, when East Africa is disrupted, when Central Africa is disrupted, we all know that West Africa today is destabilized because of other extremist groups, amongst them the Boko Haram, that have reigned havoc around those countries, especially Nigeria, where kidnappings continue permitted. And we can only link these wars, proxy wars, to something that Western countries are fighting proxy wars. Asian countries like Turkey are fighting proxy wars in our own African soil. There is no African country that is fighting another. These are proxy wars that the people of Africa have involved in themselves in, especially when you mirror that with the First World War and Second World War, when Africans were used to fight European wars that they know nothing about, kill people that they know nothing about. And the time has come for us to stand with our Pan-African brothers and say enough is enough, Miriam, because we can predict that Africa, as we know it, is going to be extinct, or some African countries are going to completely be ruined, and we have not done much to be able to help our brothers and sisters and help these countries, Miriam, come to terms with something that can be able to reprogram their countries, or programs that are going to better their own countries, or be able to completely emancipate them from these evil proxy wars that continue threatening the peace and the stability of Africa as we know it. The Horn of Africa is almost gone. East Africa, Miriam, has some tensions, and soon the chicken are coming home to roost. And in Central Africa, we have nothing to write home about. There's so much that is going on in Central African Republic, especially the surrounding countries to the Central African Republic, Miriam. These and many others are very many factors that continue bedeviling peace and stability of our own continent, and especially our three regions, Central Africa region, and also East Africa and the Horn of Africa. Thank you, Miriam.
All right, thank you so much. Doctor?
Miriam, I come back again. Another conflict which is silent, the water of River Nile. It's a conflict. Some people are looking at it as if it is not a conflict. The River Nile waters, to the extent that Egypt is looking for a way of tapping River Congo to take River Congo so that it joins to Egypt. That is a very serious matter that our United Nations representatives, ambassadors in New York, must start talking about as East Africans and the Horn of Africa. The useless things that they come here and tell us on TV, these things don't work. We should by now, Kenya should have written a document, said, protested, that it is not very good for the ICJ to touch the ruling, to make a ruling on the Indian Ocean islands or blocks. Because any decision that you make, are you suspending it? Are you telling Somalia and Kenya to go home? Miriam, Mama, here we are. Let's go across in Nigeria, for example. Let's go across. This is still sub-Saharan Africa. Because you cannot talk about sub-Saharan Africa without touching Nigeria. Without touching, my friends from Nigeria are busy here condemning us, telling us all the names. You have seen what they have said. They are writing. We are not part of what happened to Mr. Namdi Khan. We gave Minister Namdi Khan a chance to speak to the world. And you should be proud of us for having stood up and brought your issue to international level. We did not know where he was. Whatever happened, later on it emerges, he was in Kenya. I wish he called us or he called me to tell me he was in Kenya and he needed help. I don't control the Kenya government. I don't work for the Kenya government. I don't. But look at the conflict in Nigeria itself. The Nigerian government kills its own people. Boko Haram, Miriam, nobody talks about Boko Haram. But look at the whole thing. Nobody is talking about Boko Haram. At times you think that everything in Nigeria is very smooth. If you look at Nigerian institutions, television stations, all of them coming up with different programs. People are not talking about the suffering of the people in Magdigui, in Biafra, in Onitsha, in Enugu. Their television stations are not doing so. But then you have my Nigerian friends coming to our television, insulting us. They don't insult their television stations. They have thought that we are a KBC of Kenya. We are not KBC. KBC is the official television station of Republic of Kenya. Address your complaints to them. Address your complaints to Buhari. It's not us. We have never got any joy out of Nnamdi Kanu's torture and suffering that is going through. We are with you, the people of Biafra. But the topic we have today is a simple topic, the conflict. Of course, the conflict in Nigeria is there now. And Kenya and other countries must start taking this seriously. That abductions, kidnaps, torture is taking place. What creates a conflict? The ingredients of all those create what we call a new conflict. Tonight, on Matsanga Africa Perspective, I will be doing what we call the conflict in the Sahara region. And my brothers from Nigeria, you can come on that channel tonight from 7 p.m. East African Standard Time. Come on the channel. Let's call out for Buhari to get out of power. We don't have any mercy with Buhari. Buhari must solve the problem to avoid a conflict in the region. The problem of Nigeria is a political solution, not judicial, not assassination, not kidnap. Come and we talk together tonight, 7 o'clock East African Standard Time, on Matsanga Africa Perspective, the poster, the conflict in the Sahara region. Conflict in Cameroon. The conflict in Cameroon, we started telling people about Cameroon. Paul Biya, he has been killing people. Nobody is talking about it. The Amazonians are dead, they are finished. Mr. Buhari, Paul Biya, Muhammad Faki of AU, they have joined the flying killing machinery that kills people in that region. This is a conflict for the United Nations. It's a threat to peace in the region. You cannot have peace in Nigeria when you have a man like President Buhari. When you have the AU chairperson called Muhammad Faki, where he goes to bring Israel without consultation and divides the African Union. That is where we have gone wrong. Therefore, my brothers in Nigeria you want this tonight? Come, let's have it tonight. Come, let's play it. Let's call upon Buhari to expeditiously release Nnamdi Kanu, allow a political process to take place. The problem of Nigeria is not judicial. The problem of Nigeria is not assassination. The problem of Nigeria is political solution. It needs a political solution. Any scholar in the world will tell you that. And that is why we call upon our Nigerian brothers that we are part and parcel of you up to the end. We have not given up. Does it occur to you people that God chose me, chose my television station to be used as a flag bearer to enlighten your problems worldwide? It was God who chose. I did not ask for an interview. Never. I never asked for an interview from Mr. Namdi Khan. He asked me to interview him. God spoke to him through me. He said, go ahead. I accepted the interview. I did not know where he was. Therefore, I will fight along with you up to the end to make sure that it's free, is allowed, or we know the charges that they want to charge him, and give him a free trial, transparent trial, oversighted by the United Nations and international agencies. If there's any crime he has committed for calling for Biafra, it is not going to end here. I will continue myself to call, and I've continued myself to call for free Biafra. My father died calling for a free Biafra. My president died calling for free Biafra. Remember, my president was Dr. Milton Obote. That's the one who called for a meeting for Biafrans to come to Uganda, and the General Yakubu Gowon and the General Ojukwu to come and meet to resolve the Biafran issue. My father played a part, my president played a part, my nation played a part, and I will stand by that. I have never changed my colors, neither have I changed my party allegiance. My party remains Uganda People's Congress, and I will meet Obote when I go down. God calls me. I will tell him, you left a soldier behind. He followed you. He never changed, like his son has been bought and changed. At least I'm proud man that I will live longer to hold my flag up to the end. That I will live longer to talk about Africa, to remove wars in Africa, the conflicts that we see in Mogadishu, the conflicts that we see in Mali, in the Boko Haram area, Sahara region, the conflicts that we see in Central African Republic, where the French come to carry diamonds and the gold, and they said there is a war. Professor Onyali said, wherever you see UN troops, you know the gold is going. You know the diamonds are going. We have intercepted the diamonds being carried by United Nations French-speaking peacekeeping troops. And it is not my desire for me to keep quiet when Africa is bleeding, when Biafrans are bleeding, when Amazonians are bleeding. I will not keep quiet. Therefore, treat me as an ally. Don't treat me as an enemy. I am an ally of the people of Biafra. Thank you very much. And I want to say, before we leave, our topic was very crucial. We want to leave one word, Miriam, before you go, that one, the United Nations Security Council must immediately call for an urgent meeting to discuss the situation in sub-Saharan Africa as far as regards the conflict in Nigeria, in Cameroon, in Tigray, in Somalia, in Burundi, in Rwanda, in Uganda, in DRC Congo, and the conflict in Mozambique. If we fail to do that, then we are the most stupid people on planet Earth. I therefore submit that meet me at 7 o'clock East African Standard Time. And just your watches, the people of Biafra, wherever you are, my topic is the conflict in the Sahel region, citing Nigeria as a case study. Let's call for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Thank you. Thank you, the panel. Thank you, Douglas. Thank you, all of you. We have done our best. We have warned them. If they don't take the advice, this station, therefore, is for Africa, with Africa, by Africa. Ciao.